So, camera's on you. I gotta read back real quick, sorry.
Okie dokie. Alright, so on the top left, as the blue Protoss, it is my Insanity's QueenE. Imagine the zoom. Just imagine it. In the upper right, as the pink Zerg, it is Livibee. The score is 2-1 in favor of QueenE, but as it's been playing out, apparently these guys are going to win on the server they're not supposed to. So Livibee should be winning this one. So really we all know it's going to be a 2-2 by the end of this game, right? That's how it works. I don't actually know the rest of the server. The servers, so... Oh no, here it is. Okay, so NA, EU, and then Lou's just picked for number 7. So of course we're gonna get to the ace game. That's just what I'm seeing here.
Hey, sorry about that. Get the score set up here. Take you already did intros?
Yes.
Awesome stuff. So, once again, guys, I do highly stress and request that you guys do make sure to take a moment out of your day to go follow these two on Twitter. Once again, let me just go link this because I'm trying to contribute. So Livibee's Twitter, of course, is just simply at Livibee with like 4 E's, and QueenE's is her name but with MYI in front of it. And if you're enjoying either watching them, or if you want to learn more about them, or hell, you just I don't know, enjoy the Showmatch. Either way, if you follow them on Twitter, they do tweet, they stream all the time on Twitch. This is part of why we asked them to. I want to stress this. Like, I could have grabbed like a lot of people for a Showmatch. Anybody really, for most of the part. But I wanted to find people who are avid streamers. We wanted to try and do that as a small little promotion. And you know, we had tweeted about possibly hosting people in the future as part of Showmatch prizes, which I think would be really cool. But yeah, these are two people we've also featured through hosting a lot in the past.
The reason I laughed was not out of malice to the players, but rather that you asked me, and I don't stream at all.
Well, you also wussed out, so things changed.
It was also a different format, so things changed.
Yeah, things changed, man. Things changed.
I'll wuss out again, man. You know the last time I played StarCraft? 2 weeks ago, man.
Hard
so
life.
Busy, Jesus.
Oh, that's the swear jar. Ugh. Oops. One of our newest emoticons. Make sure to use it. All these spams, etc. I do apologize, by the way, guys, for the time of the show. I'm sure you guys watching this live. We don't have the bot up and running. I have got my computer mostly fixed, but not quite fully at this point. Anyways, focusing on what's going on right now. We don't see QueenE laying on heavy gateways yet. But we also don't see Livibee, and I think this one's more important, not reaching out for that faster third. I like this choice a lot because A, it's merry-go-round, and it's not really fun defending either of these third bases, especially if you don't know where your opponent spawns, but there's also a lot of creep spread required on this map, more so than others, just to get to that third base.
I like that she's going for the speed lane expand as well, so it's not just a typical like 21 hatch or anything, but she's actually gonna have control over the map and get good scouting, which she did get last game, and I really feel was pivotal in her actually winning it.
Yeah, you know, I'm not saying she did, but what I would have loved if like during that small break we had on the ads when she went up to go away, was like she went to like ask Vibe like, "Yo, what should I do this next game?" And he's like, "Just get aggressive, man. Just get aggressive."
No.
Yeah. The Roach Warren is coming down though. So I mean, what's really nice, the tools are going to be available to Livibee this game. Once again, I'm not trying to like talk down on her or anything, but we've seen that through the first 2 games today didn't go so well, and a lot of times she's very underprepared. Game 3 looked a lot better, but it was one of those things where I kind of feel like QueenE still could have won if maybe a couple of little things had gone differently on King Sejong. I mean, Livibee certainly had the tools, but her Hydras were a bit late to the party. It was a bit tentative back and forth with Nash on the third. So this is going to be a situation where I think for the first time today, Livibee, with the Roach Warren completing at a relatively nice timing, we'll actually have units out to stop this gateway aggression. And this isn't an all-in just yet, but it is 4 gates coming down here out of QueenE.
Yeah. We could be seeing something similar to Overgrowth. You know, the 4 gateway attack into, you know, massive gas throwdown into Immortal Sentry all in. But Livibee's going to be so much more, you know, better prepared. Okay, for instance, she actually has roaches right now. Not only does she have, like, units, but it's not just Lings that will trade ineffective against the Zealots in the first place. She's going to be able to push this 4-gate back, easily maybe even, and then be able to deal with the follow-up, whatever it is, so much easier.
Well, Zealots, before Roach speed is done, Queens and the Roaches, you think they have like that auto kite advantage over Zealots, but not quite the case. They're not quite as maneuverable as say Marines are, so she is going to kite a little bit here, but there's a lot of Zealots to dance around and not a lot of creep to work with. But Roaches should be able to hold this if you'll have done it correctly. She's got Defender's Advantage working a little bit in her favor, and of course she didn't drone this base up or anything, so it's not like a lot of minerals have been wasted in non-army units. No, this is actually looking pretty okay. A lot of these units get so low, just finish them off though!
That's what I was gonna say. And also the Mothership does not get targeted down. The Queens were, they got a little sidetracked a couple of times, so it will add continued damage, and QueenE, she might... I don't think she has enough weapons to actually stack onto the third. Well, she might at this point. No, she is. She's gonna try.
Oh, the Mothership will get it.
No matter what.
Yeah, I was gonna say this isn't like one of those. Oh, will it? Won't it? Will it? Won't it? That's like no, it will. Mothership core. What's up? So this kind of sucks for Livibee, but it's hardly the end of the world. The one thing I don't like coming off the back end of this, she really doesn't have a whole lot of drones behind this. Her natural base isn't heavily saturated. There's a lot of roaches out in the field, and that third base I think was her. I guess her desire to get those drones going. I don't know, but either way, she should have an economy lead over her opponent. But right now, she's actually at a pretty heavy deficit, despite losing no workers.
I feel like if you were going to invest so heavily in offense against that, you should not have lost the third. If you were to do a perfect hold, which she's not actually like a pro gamer, she's not being paid by a team to work 14 hours a day or whatever. So maybe you should not expect that from her. But that's I guess what we would expect it from life to bring him up again, because that seems to be your example go-to.
Because the guy's just so lovable.
Isn't he, though? Well, don't tell him that, because they don't think you're a homewrecker.
Okay, so here's one of the things I'm a little bit worried about for Livibee. I mean, every series she's come into, like, I just kind of feel she should play blindly into the fact that QueenE's going to do gateway aggression. I mean, the Roaches weren't quite that blind build, but they were like a decent counter. And the problem is we see with Immortals already coming up behind this, these Roaches are already getting countered by QueenE.
And Livibee doesn't really have a lot of good tech, against these Immortals. She throws down an Evo Chamber, which isn't going to help her with this push, and a Lair. So best bet, she could maybe get like Burrow or Roach speed out by the time this hits. I don't even think that's going to happen.
You say like half hesitantly, but I do like Burrow a lot for dealing with sentries in general. We've been seeing a lot of pro players adapt this into their builds as well, just getting faster burrows. So if they do get caught by the force fields, you just burrow and laugh while you wait for them to wear off. And it's usually a better way to retain your units. It won't give you a distinct army advantage or anything like that. That's not how Burrow works, but it is nice not losing half your roaches to a couple good force fields. Yeah,
and usually you get a good like 30 seconds to a minute where they don't have an observer, but actually QueenE, I don't know, the sense goes down and she just get an observer just in case Burrow was on the field. But as we know, Livibee, not even close. I mean, she really doesn't have the gas to even afford anything besides just Lings.
I kind of feel like this is less because she's worried about Burrow, more just she wants that scouting information. I mean,
that too.
Let's not forget, like, the one game she lost was also the one game where, she didn't have the watchtower control. She didn't really know where she was going. And
I didn't think she got it in the first game when she went this exact build, but, whatever. Either way, it's going to help out.
You don't need scouting when you've forgated a base now.
Hey, she did it this game too. Maybe a little less effective. But,
okay, well, I mean the base back, but those force fields are too good. Don't you just wish you could lift up this or something and walk underneath it like a command center?
Her units aren't actually attacking the third, though. I feel like she could kill it.
Oh yeah, what are the Immortals doing in the back? I guess a little bit worried about those force fields dropping too soon, but there's so many units for QueenE or for Livibee. This is like a floodgate. The second this breaks, there's not a lot of force fields left.
This is not a very powerful army when it is touched. These sentries, they go down pretty fast.
Yeah, the strength in those force fields segmenting the army off. A recall might need to go down, but the Mothership core is going to go down. Oh dear. War Prism does come in, so it might be to warp in some reinforcements, but Livibee, if she can take out those Immortals, she's going to win this fight. That's a big if.
The sentries are out of energy. You don't need to deal with them that much anymore.
That's what I mean. Is like just focus on the Immortals. Like,
two more.
Not just gonna worry about these Zealots filtering here. The Immortals core shoot for like 60, 50 a shot, so I mean these roaches take quite a hit. This base needs to go down though for QueenE to make this worthwhile, because she will lose units out behind this. She could take the Immortals and carry them away, possibly, potentially, but still we see a lot of focus on the army and not a lot in the base. And I kind of feel like the base is the objective in this scenario, not fighting with that army.
It is acting as another force field, so maybe she's trying to use that against her opponent.
I guess, but is it worth whittling down roaches of all things?
I don't know. But I'm more concerned about the fact that Livibee never ever targeted the Immortals. Now, you might assume that the Immortals are going to be picked up and kept immortal, you know, as they do in the War Prism, but that War Prism was in phase mode, whatever it's called,
I like the kiting.
away from the Immortals. Like, I think there was a couple times where she definitely could have targeted them down to definitely low
Yeah, I
health and
agree.
maybe even killed them.
Yeah, it's going to take like a full Roach volley to go through the Hardened Shields, but the second the Hardened Shields fall, the Immortals will fall shortly after. Needs to consolidate her forces, though. Right now, she's flooding a lot of Lings into it at a time. It's not quite cutting it. These Roaches were doing some great cutting in the back end of this, but Livibee, messy defense and gives way to QueenE, but it's worth noting QueenE still kind of embracing that all-in tactic. We don't have any tech really behind this. There's no +1 weapons. All the Chronos are going down to the Warp Gate, so she's looking to just come in hard. But if Livibee can hold, I think she's got the potential to stay in this game. But there's no Hydralisks, the Roach count is far and few, and this is not going to be easy.
They both need to start thinking about going on. Their banks are too high. You know, QueenE could throw down a robot, or rather, Colossus Den, whatever it's called,
Colossus
right
Robo
now.
Bay, yeah.
You know, Forge, you know, something. Livibee could have gotten into the third in the top position. You know, something to spend the money, or even like, one thing I wanted to really see was a lot of Queens. You know, like, I guess you didn't have enough larva to spend all our money, but that should have gone to the Queens.
That's true.
They're surprisingly
Yeah.
helpful.
Transfuses the actual range damage they have, retreats her units out of the way, trying to keep them away from those force fields. Most of the force field energy is pretty much gone at this point, though. And those Immortals are still standing. There's like, what, 12 kills on one? How many? 27 on the other!
Yeah,
These have been doing too much this game. Too much from those Immortals.
Yeah, I feel like this is a build that QueenE's gonna have in her back pocket for almost a free win. You know, Livibee is gonna have to figure this, you know, how to defend this. Right? She did better, I would say, than the last time it happened, but still obviously not good enough. So if it happens a third time, she's really gotta, like, you know, realize what her mistakes were.
GG. Alright, so QueenE really embracing that power of Protoss. She was not kidding when she said that before the Showmatch began today. But yeah, Livibee now on her last life. With QueenE up 3-1 over her opponents, we're going to go back to the North American server. And Livibee does have map pick. So this is her best, like, this is the best circumstances for her. You know, you're playing on the home server, you got map pick. But back to NA now. Same channel, Livy's pick. Guys, we're going to play another 2-minute ad because that's about how long it's going to take. I mean, we got to swap servers, we got to get the maps up and such. So we're going to play an ad out here real quick, and we'll see you in 2 minutes with the next